Three government organizations handle education in the Philippines. These are the Department of Education or DepEd, the Commission on Higher Education or CHED, and the Technical Education and Skills Development Authority or TESDA. The Department of Education governs both public and private education in all levels, stated that its mission is to provide quality basic education that is equitably accessible to all by the foundation for lifelong learning and service for the common good. The department also stipulated its vision to develop a highly competent, civic-spirited, life-skilled, and God-loving Filipino youth who actively participate in and contribute towards the building of a humane, healthy, and productive society. All these ambitions were embodied in the development strategy called Philippines 2000. The academic year in the Philippines is patterned after its wet or cool and dry or hot seasons. The hottest months of the year are from March to May, thus making them the summer break. The wet season starts in June, which also marks the beginning of the academic school year. The school year ends during the last week of March or first week of April. The Philippines, a Catholic country, has a 2 to 3 week break during Christmas in December and a 4 to 5 day break at the start of November to celebrate the Day of the Saints and the Day of the Dead. Every October, there is a week semestral break for students only. Department of Education, Governance and Operations Functions. Bureau of Learner Support Services formulates the national framework for all learner support services and issue policies and standards to guide the programs for the holistic development of learners that complement the curricular offerings. The focus of these developmental programs are on the improvement of learner readiness in terms of physical health and proper nourishment, character formation and preparation of the youth towards leadership roles and civic service, development of mental discipline, psychomotor skills, and social values through after-school sports programs, and provides technical and resource support to program implementers in the field. Bureau of Human Resource and Organizational Development develops and implements an organization development framework for the department that is responsive to aspirations of the organization to support the delivery of basic education. In collaboration with the Project Development Division of the Project Management Service, designs education development programs and projects in the context of the organization development framework and plan of the department, integrates and orchestrates the development of all national policy and operational frameworks of the different offices in the department, integrates and orchestrates the implementation of the department's organization development and management agenda and programs, manages, coordinates, and implements specific education development programs and projects to ensure relevance, quality, completion, and sustainability of results, develops and strengthens the in-house capability on the operation and management of organization development and change initiatives, and generates knowledge and information derived from the implementation and evaluation of education development programs and projects for future development and design initiatives. National Educators Academy of the Philippines formulates a national strategic framework for the professional development of all DepEd personnel, including all education managers and educators, provides and manages needs-based and demand-driven professional development programs for the continuing education of the human resource of the department, develops learning maps, training program designs, and resource packages for various human resource groups, quality assure the NEAP in the regions, including the accreditation, recognition of training programs, trainers, and training service providers, manages the training and development information system, links with the CHED and teacher education institutions for the development and recognition of NEAP training programs, and manages partners' support to professional development. Program Management Service develops the strategic framework, guidelines, and standards on program or project, develops and installs measures, systems, and structures to ensure the continuous and sustained implementation of programs and projects, provides support and mobilizes resources to the different units to ensure efficient planning, application, and optimum use of resources, and develops processes and mechanisms to assess the effectiveness of the programs or projects. Governance and operations functions. Offices and divisions. Bureau of Learner Support Services. Office of the Director. School Health Division. School Sports Division. And Youth Formation Division. Bureau of Human Resource and Organizational Development. Office of the Director. Employee Welfare Division. Human Resource Development Division. Organization Effectiveness Division. And School Effectiveness Division. National Educators Academy of the Philippines, Office of the Director, Professional Development Division, and Quality Assurance Division. Program Management Service, Office of the Director, Project Development Division, and Project Management Division. The Commission on Higher Education is the Philippine government's agency in charge with promoting relevant and quality higher education, ensuring access to quality higher education, and guaranteeing and protecting academic freedom for continuing intellectual growth, advancement of learning and research, development of responsible and effective leadership, education of high-level professionals, and enrichment of historical and cultural heritages. Per Section 8 of Republic Act 7722, the Commission on Higher Education has the following powers and functions: formulate and recommend development plans, policies, priorities, and programs on higher education. Formulate and recommend development plans, policies, priorities, and programs on research. Recommend to the executive and legislative branches priorities and grants on higher education and research. Set minimum standards for programs and institutions of higher learning recommended by panels of experts in the field and subject to public hearing and enforce the same. Monitor and evaluate the performance of programs and institutions of higher learning for appropriate incentives, as well as the imposition of sanctions such as, but not limited to, diminution or withdrawal of subsidy, recommendation on the downgrading of withdrawal of accreditation, program termination, or school course. Identify, support, and develop potential centers of excellence in program areas needed for the development of world-class scholarship, nation-building, and national development. Recommend to the Department of Budget and Management or DBM the budgets of public institutions of higher learning as well as general guidelines for the use of their income. Rationalize programs and institutions of higher learning and set standards, policies, and guidelines for the creation of new ones, as well as the conversion or elevation of schools to institutions of higher learning, subject to budgetary limitations and the number of institutions of higher learning in the province or region where creation, conversion, or elevation is sought to be made. Develop criteria for allocating additional resources such as research and program, development grants, scholarships, and the other similar programs, provided that these shall not detract from the fiscal autonomy already enjoyed by colleges and universities. Direct or redirect purposive research by institutions of higher learning to meet the needs of agro-industrialization and development. Devise and implement resource development schemes. Administer the Higher Education Development Fund as described in Section 10 of Republic Act 7722, which will promote the purposes of higher education. Review the charters of institutions of higher learning and state universities and colleges, including the chairmanship and membership of their governing bodies, and recommend appropriate measures or bases for necessary action. Promulgate such rules and regulations and exercise such other powers and functions as may be necessary to carry out effectively the purpose and objectives of Republic Act 7722, and perform such other functions as may be necessary for its effective operations and for the continued enhancement, growth, and development of higher education. The Technical Education and Skills Development Authority is the government agency tasked to manage and supervise technical education and skills development in the Philippines. It was created by virtue of Republic Act 7796, otherwise known as the Technical Education and Skills Development Act of 1994. The said act integrated the functions of the former National Manpower and Youth Council, the Bureau of Technical Vocational Education of the Department of Education, Culture, and Sports, and the Office of the Apprenticeship of the Department of Labor and Employment. What is the vision of TESDA? The transformational leader in the technical education and skills development of the Filipino workforce. Mission: TESDA sets direction, promulgates relevant standards, and implements programs geared towards a quality-assured and inclusive technical education and skills development and certification system. Values Statement: We believe in demonstrated competence, institutional integrity, personal commitment, culture of innovativeness, and a deep sense of nationalism. Quality Policy: We measure our worth by the satisfaction of the customers we serve through service. S for strategic decisions, E for effectiveness, R for responsiveness, value added performance for V, integrity for I, citizens focus for C, and efficiency for E. Sharing this quote of Abraham Lincoln: The philosophy of the schoolroom in one generation will be the philosophy of government in the next. In short, education is dynamic and innovative. Thank you so much for your indulgence. If you have questions, I am just a chat away. Stay safe and God bless. This is your presenter, Jelyn of Rafonga, signing off.